Hello again my friends, this is the boy needs dog and welcome to the channel where I talk about, play, rank and review games on the Evercade old and new. In today's episode we are continuing our retrospective look at the first 5 years of Evercade. We have reached the second year. Now interestingly, I think it's only the first 6 collections we need to rank before the year 2 overall retrospective, as I'm only doing the individual carts I missed at the start of this channel, as I originally did them on an old channel where before that a blog. But I will still rank all carts in the overall video at the end. And year 3, I only think I'm missing a single cart, and that's a second duo collection, I think. So back to today, and we are getting stuck into the 15th Evercade console cart, the Jaleco Collection 1. There are 10 games in this collection, so a decent heft to go through and a nice variety of game types. The company was originally founded in 1974 as Japan Leisure Company before being renamed to Jaleco in the early 1980s. Jaleco's parent company finally closed in 2014, where City Connection, who had originally worked on the City Connection game and named themselves after it, snapped up all their games. The more you know. Please remember these rankings are just my preferred order, and I don't always necessarily prefer the technically better games, it's just an opinion, and I'd love to hear your ranking. So who do you think will get my number 1 spot and who will be trailing at the bottom? Let's find out. Number 10. And in 10th place is Base Loaded, a sports game developed by TOS and originally released in 1987. Is it TOS or TOSE? I don't know. Look, I'm not going to linger here. I like baseball even less than football, and that's saying something. There are a choice of 12 teams, single or full seasons. It's played slightly groovy like you're a sports event on TV, so there's that. It looks and plays quite solid. I'm rubbish, but I really have no compulsion to try and get better, if I'm honest. So sorry guys, just some game types are not for certain people. In this case, I'm one of those people. Number 9. This isn't going to be a surprise, is it? But in 9th place is Super Goal 2, a sports game developed by TOSE and released in 1993. Yes, it's football. I think there are only 2 football games in the world I enjoy, and this isn't one of them. Though saying that, it wasn't the worst experience of my life. I did have 5 minutes of fun trying to get to grips with the controls, and there's one particular mode I don't mind too much. But it's not something I'm ever probably coming back to when this video is done, because in the end, it's still bloody football. For those that are into football, you do have 3 options: tournament, exhibition or penalty kick mode, and there are 20 international teams to choose from, so there's that. Graphically it's quite good and controls feel fine. Again, I'm not really the person to talk on this, but I did enjoy a few rounds of penalty kick mode from time to time. I can't lie, a very competent game that's just not for me. Number 8. And in 8th place is City Connection, a painting platform game, I don't know what to call these types of games, developed by Jaleco and released in 1985. Though I normally love games where you have to colour in the world wherever you tread, and using a card to do that sounds cool, but I really do not enjoy this one. I find the controls annoying and the game boring, but probably because I find it annoying. I just don't get much fun from this at all, and no matter how many times I've returned to try it, in the end, I'm kinda on the cat side, if I'm honest. Number 7. And in 7th place is The Ignition Factor, a top-down action game developed by Jaleco and released in 1994. Now, I thought this game would be higher up the list. It's got a lot going for it. A choice of missions to tackle, each location bringing different problems. For example, one might have more chemical-based issues, so it's best to take the extinguisher that works best with chemicals, etc. As before each mission, you can choose only some from a selection of tools, like specific extinguisher types, an axe, or an oxygen mask, depending on a little symbol in the corner of each item's icon. as you cannot use two items of the same symbol at a time for some reason. So you have to think about what you might need. The mission briefing will give you clues towards this beforehand. But don't worry, we'll always go with a regular extinguisher too. The graphics are nice in game. You must battle through fires to find and save a specific number of civilians. Some die awfully quickly, so you have to learn where they are and get there on a double, given the element of trial and error. So with all that being said, why didn't I like it more? I guess it's a bit fiddly. I'm not sure, it just didn't grab me as much as I thought it would, or indeed as the remaining games in this list. But I can't argue, it's a solid built title. Number 6. And in 6th place is Rival Turf. A scrolling beat 'em up developed by Jaleco and released in 1992. It's a decent colourful scrolling beat 'em up. You've got the choice of two characters, one fast and nimble, the other slower but more powerful. It's your usual fare really. Apart from your usual attack, you have a special and anger mode, where your character starts flashing for a limited time and your attacks are stronger. Being a console game, you've got your usual options at the start of the game, 3 difficulty settings, and set how many lives and continues you want. Sometimes the stages can drag on a little more than they need to, but otherwise, this is inoffensive fun. There's not much more to say about it, really. Number 5. And in 5th place is Brawl Brothers. A side-scrolling beat 'em up and developed by Jaleco and released in 1993. In many ways a step up from Rival Turf, there is now a bigger selection of characters where you choose 2 to take into battle, swap between the 2 when you use a continue. Your characters can also now run, something you couldn't do in Rival Turfs, and yeah, you definitely notice a difference. And when you die, you can choose where to place your character on respawn, which is quite a cool little touch. It is, however, a little rougher around the edges than Rival Turfs. And what I first thought was a cool idea, that you can pass through openings in the background to get to new areas, actually became a complete drag when going through a sewer section. Why we have to have sewer stages at all in games, I never know. They're always the shittest part without fail, and this game sadly is no different. In fact, it exacerbates it. Apart from the sewer though, it's a good game and a lot of fun. Number 4. And at number 4 it is, and I'm going to butcher this name. Is it a Styanax? Or Styanax? A side-scrolling action platformer developed by Iacom and released in 1990. This game is a little rough around the edges, but I love the aesthetics. They've added a few interesting touches. You have a power bar which depletes when you hit an enemy. You then have to wait a second for it to build if you want the next shot to be as strong, as opposed to a lot of games where you hold the button to power your shot. Smashing statues will give you various items, increase health or give you a weapon power up. Changing an axe to a sword and then later an even bigger sword. You can also grab items to increase your power attack with a longer bar that of course takes longer to get to full power, but we are talking mere seconds longer. The game will be higher, except some really annoying enemy placements right by pits between platforms. Just frustrating design to make it harder than it needs to be. Apart from that though, quite a fun time. And I do love the little story bits between levels, there's little cutscenes. It really adds a bit more depth to the game. And the boss design, as you can see here, is quite cool. Bit bonkers. Number 3. And in third place is Totally Rad. Man. A side-scrolling platformer developed by Aecom and released in 1991. A fun, simple platform game, easy to pick up, with abilities you gain over time and a magic meter to use them. The first is health, but you soon unlock more. There's some nice, simple palette scrolling going on in the background that always gives a game a pleasant depth. Not much more to say about this title really, just fun and simple and nowhere near as frustrating as other games on this cart, and it does have that sort of Mega Man vibe to it, so if you like that, you'll probably like this. Number 2. And in second place is Operation Logic Bomb. A top-down action game developed by Jaleco and released in 1993. This is a great top-down shooter. You can shoot at any angle and hold down a button to fix the angle you're shooting no matter which way you're moving. I always have a bit win a game once you do that. From the off, you have 2 weapon types that increase as you progress through the game, from a forward shot, a Vulcan, a shot that bounces off walls to get round corners, and a flame weapon. The levels on the most part are cool and maze-like designs, and there are great little animations throughout. I especially like that the flashbacks and recorded feeds when you hack into various systems, slowly explaining what happened before you got there. Not much more to say, it's just great stuff really. Number 1. And in first place is EDF Earth Defense Force. It's a side-scrolling shoot-up developed by Jaleco and released in 1991. This game is just gorgeous. The levels all look great with nice little touches. The enemy design is great with good variety. I love how the bosses have stages of destruction, both visually and it changes their attack. It just plays great. You can even increase or decrease the speed at the touch of a button. There is a core weapon attachment that you can have attached to the front or have it spinning around you, or I think there's another way you can do it as well. And this affects the weapon you're using. And speaking of, what's interesting, you don't have a choice of ships, you have a choice of weapons. You don't change your mid-level by picking up an icon. You do it from a shop in between stages. Some weapons are definitely better than others. My favourite is the homing weapon. It's darn tasty. There are 2 cool things about this one. Between every stage you can change your weapon if you so want. And 2, you can level up in this game by defeating enemies, which increase the power of the weapon you're using. I love the leveling up system. Now, for once, using a continue actually helps. You don't lose everything. On the contrary, you keep where you've leveled to, but begin from the start of the level with a whole stage to level up your weapon, and hopefully be more powerful when you reach the point that ended you last time. And as this is a console game, you're given 3 continues from the off. Also, being a console game, there are a few options at your disposal. Difficulty settings which are nice, and up to 5 lives. I just really love this game. It's such a blast and it is gorgeous to boot. What more can you say? It's definitely the winner on this cart. And my overall thoughts on this collection: out of the 10 games, there's only 3 of them I doubt I'd play again, and 2 of them are sports titles, so that's the only reason for that. As for remaining games, they're all a lot of fun, frustrations aside, but I will be honest, it's only my top 3 that I'll think to come back to this cart for. But they, I think, really are worth it. The rest, fun diversions while I'm back on. I enjoyed this cart on the VS, the EXP, and it was an absolute delight on the Alpha. So all in all, well, not a bad certified banger collection, and must have. The top 3 are freaking great titles, worthy of anyone's time. And what are your thoughts on this collection? Did you buy this cart? If so, how would you rank them games? As always, let me know in the comments below. And if you made it here to the end of the episode, thanks ever so much for joining me. Leave a thumbs up or comment if you'd like. But you know what? I'm just chuffed you poked your head in for a goosey gander. As always, I hope the day was as awesome as you are, my friends. And until next time, be singing.